If I could pick just two things I know you're going to love about Arenal Kioro, is that this hotel has not just 2 pools, but 7 hot springs on site. And the floor-to-ceiling views of the volcano are one of the most stunning things to wake up to every single morning while you're having coffee in your room. In this video, I'm sharing with you what it was like to stay at this hotel property, everything you need to know, and the helpful tips that I wish I knew before I stayed here around what makes it special, but not just the pros. Let's also talk about the cons so that you can understand if it's a right fit for you coming up. And if you're new here, I'm Christine Lozada. Costa Rica is a destination that I didn't realize I actually needed someone to help me plan this trip. It's a great place to have adventures, whether wild or easy, but it's one that you might want a little bit of assistance on, especially if you want to make it worth your time and money. Check out our travel packages. You're not going to want to miss it. More info in the description below. Let's jump straight to it, because as you're arriving into Arenal Kioro, the first thing you notice is just how beautiful and peaceful this property feels. It's tucked right into the rainforest, but it's still very centrally located, and it makes it the jumping off point for everything you want to do in La Fortuna. So we're talking close to the national park, close to hot springs, all the major adventure activities, but especially on this property, because I stayed at more than just one property, you'll feel totally immersed in nature, and that's what makes this really special. The grounds at Arenal Kioro are really secure, and they're also really well maintained. And the check-in experience just is absolutely lovely, because you're greeted with a welcome drink, and the staff is super warm, and it just sets the tone for your entire stay. And once you check in, you'll realize that there's a few things on that main level. The first thing you'll find is the tour desk, but obviously book your Costa Rica adventure with us. We'll make sure you're getting exactly the trip that's tailored to you, or check out our very competitively priced packages. The other thing you'll find here is the gift shop, and they have some clothing items and other helpful things you might need for your trip. But as you head back to the property, you'll find the bar, and this is the part where it gets good, because as you walk to the back, you'll start seeing the full property, and that's when you'll realize, like, whoa, like I am in Costa Rica, and it's just stunning. As soon as we got there, we saw a toucan in the tree, and you can see the volcano in the background, and it's just stunning. After check-in, we made our way over to our room, and we stayed in a couple's suite. And I'm going to give you a full room tour, but if you're getting some value out of this video, cheers that like button, consider subscribing. Tell me in the comments below. I'd love to know, when are you going to Costa Rica? We chose the couple suite, and one of the things, the hot tub. I cannot wait to tell you about this part because it's super special. But there are 4 different room types at this hotel property. All of the room types are all suites, and they're all lovely. But one of the things I loved about this room is that it was just comfortable and functional. So the bed was comfortable, but I loved that it actually faced the volcano. So you could throw open the shades and the windows in the morning and literally just lie in bed, enjoying the view and genuinely feeling like you're on vacation. And then you can make yourself a coffee in the room and then sit and enjoy that view. But one of the most amazing things is the big jetted hot tub that's inside the room, and it's not small, and it creates a beautiful experience because you can enjoy a glass of wine and just watch the volcano. And that was something I absolutely loved doing, especially because it's hot outside, but you can turn on the air conditioning and get into your jetted hot tub. You also have a mini fridge in the room with the mini bar, and there's coffee and other amenities that are available. One of the other things I loved is not only was there a balcony that was facing the volcano, but you also had a balcony that was facing the interior of the property. And there was just this separated off space, right? This is a huge room where I could organize my belongings, but also set up my laptop. And it was just nice to have that desk and other separate space. But I don't want to just talk about the pros. You can see it from the video, right? One of the cons, depending on what you care about, is that this is not the most modern, most glamorous hotel out there, but it really offers both the views of the volcano as well as this true, like, I'm in Costa Rica, I'm in the rainforest vibes. That is one of the biggest selling points. And also, oh, those hot springs. Get ready, because we're about to talk about that. Be a smart traveler. Don't forget to check the info in the description. Most people miss it. There's so much helpful info in there, because if you want to stay at a more modern hotel, I got that one covered. Things to do in the area, got that covered. And if you want experts that know Costa Rica, live in Costa Rica, and you want to be taken around like it is the vacation that you want, don't miss booking your Costa Rica adventure with us. Hot springs. This property has a lot to offer. So not only are there restaurants on the property, a small gym, a regular pool, a pool bar, a park. It's nice to spend time walking around the property because it's not small. It's just a place you can relax, especially because of the hot springs. But make sure you're giving yourself time to actually relax, enjoy, and feel like you're on vacation. One thing you might not know about hot springs, this was new for me, is I went in a lot of them. And the reason why is because the temperature of the hot spring, because these are natural hot springs, right? These are not man-made, is that the temperature of the hot spring varies based off of how high or how low you are on the property. And so I was, testing it out. Some of them were really freaking hot. Some of them were like just right. You catch my feel. One helpful tip is make sure you bring your towels from your room. But another helpful tip, and this could be either a pro or a con, as with anything, right? If you go during busy times, there's lots of people in the hot spring, but they're open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. So if you want them like completely to yourself, I don't know, consider going at a time in which it's not a time in which everyone's going, right? But one thing we really loved was relaxing at the pool. There's a really nice pool bar there that has that same menu as the lobby bar. And we ordered some wine and we just sat in the pool and enjoyed this space. Oh my goodness, the food smelled lovely. We were kind of there at a weird time, so no one was dining, but when we left, it got busy. But we ended up going to the other restaurant. So let's talk about it. So a friendly reminder, there's 2 restaurants on the property and daily breakfast is included from your stay. And it's a buffet breakfast that runs from 6:30 to 9:30 a.m. Check my math on that and make sure you ask at check-in, obviously. The dinner experience was fantastic. I mean, it's always so nice when you can not worry about having to find a new place, etc., but the restaurant on the property just offers what you want. And one thing that's really nice to know is that they accommodate for allergens and they're clear on the menu for tourists. And obviously this is not going to be like, oh, your most Costa Rica authentic dining experience, although the food is absolutely fantastic. But if that's something you're looking for, that would be a con for you on this property and you should go off property to find that. But I loved dining on site. We ordered a variety of dishes at the table. I loved eating the chicken. Oh, it was really good. And there's a really great wine list. I had bubbles, I had white wine, I had some red wine. It was just, oh, here's one thing you don't miss, the dessert. Absolutely fantastic. That was just a really great, sweet way to end the evening, because obviously we're going to bed early because there's adventures to be had. So let's talk about some of the benefits of staying here, because one of the perks is getting access to Titoku, which I'm sure you're like, what the heck is Titoku? But one of the things about this area that I'm guessing you already know is there's lots of hot springs, right? This is like the thing to do in La Fortuna. And Titoku is another hot spring in the area. And when you stay at Arenal Kioro, you get free access to Titoku, which it normally costs around like $37 or something like that. Check my math, which is really fantastic value. It's a short drive away and they provide towels there and it's a nice experience. I preferred, this is my opinion, being on the property. I think it's more about the access of like, oh, just going there from your room versus having to drive out somewhere, but we tried both. Make sure you check out the other video and the video is in the playlist and book your Costa Rica adventure with us. Be a smart traveler. At least read more about what's in the description. Most people miss it, but there are so many adventures to be had in this area. And I can't wait to tell you about them in the next videos in this playlist because Adventure in La Fortuna was one of my favorites. But let's talk about who this hotel is for, because you are probably wondering like, is this the right choice for me. Arenal Kioro, who is this for? This is for someone who really wants to feel immersed in nature and wants those views of the volcano, right? Every room type, 4 different room types, is a suite. Obviously, you can really upgrade your experience here. But if you're looking for something that's like ultra modern or just a different experience, make sure you're checking out some of the other videos. All of them have different things to offer. Plus, I do an entire podcast episode with Diana, travel expert and advisor, who will walk you through other options in the area. This property is for someone who wants something peaceful, something spacious. They want to be surrounded by nature and I mean, this is the selling point, right? With the best views of Arenal. I'm Christine Lozada. Book your Costa Rica adventure with us. More info in the description below, and please join me in the next video because we are about to adventure and it's gonna be a good one.